Hello, welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn and my Thursday afternoon Facebook Live, sharing with you some card making inspiration and ideas, hopefully that get you excited about card making and also hopefully to encourage you to have a go. This is a card we recently made at one of my classes. It was a masculine card class, and we made this and two other cards. And I actually was inspired to make this card by a picture of a barn door, and it had gardens and whatnot in front of it. And this was my interpretation of that picture. And for this card, I have used for the stamping beautiful butterflies because it has really good greetings. It has the happy birthday, and then on the inside it's got time to celebrate. And the other part of this card is these really cool dies. I just love ephemera type things, and it's got the little lock there and a couple of 3 separate keys and some really cute little tags. I just decided to use the lock on the door to create that whole illusion of a door, and then I couldn't resist adding a couple of keys on the inside. So this would be, I think, a really good masculine card, also a great card for a 21st with those keys, of course, but just a card that you can write inside, unlocking your happiness by sending you a handmade card, maybe, if that's not too corny perhaps. All right, when I was designing this card, I wanted to use this gorgeous Country Woods paper, and as I said, wanted to make a barn door card, so something a little bit different. So basically what I've done is, this is exactly the size of a standard card, and if you have a look here, here's my card, standard size card. There is the fold line there, but I've shifted the fold line over a little bit to create my double gatefold. So I've got, oh look, one side there and then this side over here, okay, so that it folds like a door. So the first thing I'm going to do is start sticking all of my wood panels onto my door, creating that lovely rustic look. So I've got bits of, I actually have done the stamping already, but I've got bits of designer series paper and bits of early espresso all going together to create the door. So I think before I do anything else, I'm going to arrange those together. I will put my center panel on the inside of my card, so it's one thing that's easily done and out of the way. So I will pop my panel here and then put this on the inside of the card. As you can see, somehow or other this is stuck to an envelope in the humidity, that has been phenomenal. But if I stick my insert over the top of that, no one will ever know that it was slightly damaged. Right, the next two bits that are easy peasy, Japanesey, is to stick my front and side panels on there. So I'll pop this one on first. I might put the lighter panel down because that'll get covered up by the vegetation. And this one on the side there. And pop you like, whoops, sorry, didn't mean to put it so far away from the camera angle. Okay, so there's my basic card. What I will do is just burnish this fold a little bit so it folds a bit flatter, and then this one as well. There we go, my card's folded there. All right, now here I have my little bits of wood to create my sort of barn door looking arrangement. Okay, so these are pretty easy, just one here. Each of them are just half a centimetre smaller than the outline. These ones are pretty skinny. Roll on pop you inside here, and this one here inside this panel as well. Okay, so I have got sticky hands, as you can tell. I'm just going to pop that over there to cover up the halo of my light. So I've got one thicker piece, that's the door closing part. So I might pop him on first, about the middle, and he only needs adhesive right on this side here. There we go, 1, 2, rightio, so pop him right on the side there. I'm only eyeballing it. This is a very rustic old door. And then these two pieces are going to go from the outside edge to brace the door and the woodwork. And I will need to trim them a little as well. So put one there, and one there, and one there. And you need to come up a bit. Just making sure my door covers it. Rightio. And then I will trim these two bits here. So it looks very much like it was, well, it has been handmade, hasn't it? Handmade in paper. There we go. So that's the basics of the door there. All right, standard card size, just scored a little bit on that side and then the other one there. I can tell you the actual score lines if you like. They are on metric 8 centimeters and then 18.5. So this piece on the end here is 2.5 centimeters. There you go. 8 centimeters and 18.5, I think, which gives you a 10 centimeter inside shape. Rightio. Now we're just up to the embellishment of our barn door. I'll just get rid of my extra pieces here that I've already die cut out of our tags to go dies. Put my happy birthday on top of my table is really sticky. I'll give you a little tip. A great way to get rid of all stickiness, because I've put glue and stuff on there, is to use Fantastic Stamping Mist, which comes in a bigger bottle than this now. But stamping mist and a cloth, just wipe it off. And the glass mat is super clean and no more sticky bits. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Now I've got this piece here is just a bit of old olive from, I think, the garden meadow dies it was when I put it together. And that is just to create a little bit of garden edge. You could use anything, like if you had a grass piece. I'm going to put a little bit of this one behind as well. So I've got this one here. I might put that one there. Maybe I should have put it that way around. Which way? That way? Or that way? Yes, I think I need to go the other way around. So I'm just going to pull you off before you're truly stuck, and stick you on the back, and pull you off. So they were only just popped up on there. Okay, so there's that one behind, and then this one in front. You may have, if you follow my blog, you may have seen this card on my blog a few weeks ago. And on that blog post, you will see the inspiration for this card as well, the barn door image. I think it was right at the beginning of the month in March, I believe. Not in May, but in March. Okay, and happy birthday. because happy birthday cards are always super useful, aren't they? Okay, so there's our barn door. Time to celebrate. Happy birthday. And now all we need to do is, now the locking mechanism is this little lock here. But to make it easy for you to slip your bar across, we need to use dimensionals also on the back of this one. And these need to be the little mini dimensionals, just fitting right on there. And one more perhaps on this side. Thank you anyone who's joining me today. I really appreciate you joining me on my Thursday afternoon lives. I forgot to let everyone know I was going to be coming on today, so it's an absolute bonus if you're here with me, for me. There we go. So that's holding my door closed underneath there. And then I've got my two little keys I'm going to stick inside my barn, just as a little bit of embellishment. And then the last thing we're going to do, after I've stuck these in, is to create the detail that looks like the nails. Here we go. 1, 2. Okay, so to create the nails, I'm going to use this metallic enamel effects copper. Okay, I am going to do it with it closed and only put them where I can see them rather than putting them everywhere. This is the successful one. This stuff doesn't dry as quickly as I thought, and I had swished my hand all the way through some of those dots on one of my previous projects. So I'm going to start from left to right so my hand doesn't cover everything up, and from top to bottom, and just put little dots to pretend that they're nails. And then I'm going to go across the top, 2 together, pretending that's planking, 2 together, 2 together. And then when I'm finished this, I'll be setting it aside so that, to avoid me touching it. Okay, 1 there, 2 on this end, 1 on this end, 1 there, and then 2 down the bottom. And then I'm not going to touch it again, okay? So I'll hold this one open and closed to show you how it works. Okay, so there we go. Barn door card, masculine card. Pretty basic, just making use of really awesome Country Woods paper. Easy stamp greetings. This time they're from Beautiful Butterflies, the happy birthday and time to celebrate. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you give it a go. Those score lines again for a standard metric card. This cardstock here is 21 centimetres by 14.5, and I've scored it at 8 centimetres and 18.5 to create that little gatefold, and then the latch is from one side to the other. Bye-bye now. See ya.